Hi, this is Movie Crank, and today we're gonna talk about Tulsa King Season 2, Episode 8. So this episode, the heat is on, and all of these events were exactly what I've been waiting for half the season. Without further ado, let's talk about what happened. Tyson is scolded for attacking BB's estate. Out of precaution, Dwight tells everybody to lay low. Bevilacqua sends his goons to take out Dwight, and meanwhile Thrasher gets robbed out of his business by the Triads. His informant Trucy hits rock bottom and robs Dwight's vault, and Thrasher seeks help from Bevilacqua, and during that he confesses his hit on Dwight. In the beginning, we have Tyson getting scolded by Dwight's crew for his actions. They tell him that his actions were stupid, but assure him their protection and allegiance. I like this scene, and I'm once again glad that we're not left alone with our thoughts here.
I know what you're thinking, and you're right.
I hope he learned something from his encounter and counts his blessings in the future. Then in a scene I thought we'd never get, Dwight tells his loved ones to lay low and leave the state temporarily to stay in New York. Well, finally! It's about time. I thought he was gonna have them take cover once he had BB's henchmen killed. Or by the latest once the Triad attacked his wind farm. His daughter Tina teases to cut ties with him and Dwight gets left behind. I can understand that she's through with his mob dealings, but on the other hand, I don't get how she can accept to live in a mansion he gifted to her, which is clearly paid by protection money and she knows about it. Then again, she holds Dwight accountable when things go south. Where did she think the money was coming from? It's a high-risk environment after all. Personally, I hope she realizes the double standard and at least keeps the connection from a safe distance. And just like anticipated last week, Bevilacqua is pissed. I wasn't expecting him to take out all the breaks, but lo and behold, he's about to go to war with Manfredi. Funny enough, the FBI has BB's house wired and warns Dwight about his plans. Am I missing something? Last time I checked, the feds seem to just follow Manfredi around and surveil him. But now they tell him straight up details so he won't get whacked. When you least expect it, they serve and protect. Who would have thought?
Not bad.
On Thrasher's side, there are also new developments. His partner, the head of the so-called Triads, is actively robbing him of his business, holding him at gunpoint. He cracks under the pressure and signs the business over for a measly $1,000.
You went full retard, man. Never go full retard.
I never thought Thrasher was such a lightweight pushover. Now it makes sense why it took him so long to deal with Dwight. Couldn't he see that they were eventually getting rid of him? Why doesn't he have any muscle with him to prevent such a silly takeover? His informant slash beneficiary Trucy is in over his head too. He got exposed by Dwight and rejected by his wife, actually make that ex-wife. Fired from his job, and even Thrasher told him to piss off. Man, sometimes you should just call it a day. Instead, he robs Dwight and threatens Goody. This guy is toast, and the only question is how they're going to do it. And talking about toast, I wonder who of the New York mob is going to get whacked. Last episode, Vince went behind Cheeky's back and met with the heads of the other New York mob families to discuss having Cheeky removed. They all agreed and assured to have Vince's back. This week, they decided to simply have him step aside instead of taking him out. Naturally, Cheeky doesn't take the news too well and storms off. To be honest, I was surprised to see so many new faces on the mob this episode. I get that Sheridan had a newer, less organized mafia family in mind, but the skeleton crew in New York is a bit ridiculous, but I'll get into that later. In the end of this episode, one of Bevilacqua's henchmen drives by the weed shop and guns down a member of Dwight's crew, Jimmy. On the other side of town, a panicking Thrasher speeds to get help from Bevilacqua. In midst of the conversation, Thrasher tells BB that he was behind the car bomb, and they realize the mess they ran themselves into. So wonder, is Bevilacqua actually pissed that he could have prevented this hit? Or is it just the consequences he fears? One thing's for sure, the show got a little more interesting, and for episode 8 out of 10, it's about time. Overall, I enjoyed this episode. One thing I really thought was off though. Thrasher, who is supposed to be such a big animal, realistically wouldn't have been so much off guard like he was this episode. For his kind of character, he's supposed to hang out at some mansion or yacht, calling people all day on his phone, not drive around from point A to B like an overpaid UPS driver. Also, what's up with the low member attendance of the mob in New York? Are there some budget cuts that I don't know about? Or can't they afford some actors? What is going on? Have some more members sitting around, people running errands. It feels way too empty. Anyways, I'm curious to see Dwight's reaction next episode. So tune in next week to hear my thoughts about the all-out war in Tulsa. Thank you for staying this long till the end of this video. If you liked it, please leave a like, subscribe to my channel, and hit that bell icon so you'll know when I crank out another video. Stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.